All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know I don't usually do this for first halves, but right now, currently, it is 2:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is the halftime for the Steelers and Browns game. And just a quick reaction to it, because I may have just seen if not the worst plays that I've ever seen from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yes, this includes fourth down and 10. We're going to throw a pass to Najee Harris behind the line of scrimmage right by the sideline against the Bengals whenever you literally just give up and it's fourth down and goal. This is to a new level, okay? Before we get into the obvious about the kick and the fake field goal, I just want to get the short stuff out of the way. Overall, both teams, I've seen very mediocre football from them. No team has been very dominant in this game. Both teams have kind of just been there. They haven't done anything amazing. The Steelers' offensive line, they've played decent this game, pretty average. Definitely better than what they've performed, especially the first 4 weeks of the season. Myles Garrett got that one sack on him. That's going to be a given. Garrett's going to do Myles Garrett things. I mean, I'm not shocked by that. That's acceptable. It's understandable, especially whenever he's going up against Dan Moore Jr., not a very experienced lineman himself. So obviously the Lions played okay. Najee Harris, I've liked what I've seen from him. The Steelers have done some things in this game that have, really hurt them and hurt their chances, but so have the Browns. They've hurt themselves. Both teams have hurt themselves, and the way the Steelers' defense came out in the very first possession, they looked so flat, except they were able to hold Cleveland to the field goal. That was huge. And I also love the fourth down and one stop to Nick Chubb. I mean, it was pretty obvious they were going to give the ball to Chubb or sneak it with Mayfield. They were definitely going to run the ball. I like that stop. That was huge. We went down the field, got 3 points. If it wasn't a holding, could have had a touchdown there. But once again, the offensive line's playing average. And overall, this is an acceptable performance. But there's one thing that is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. You'll have my post-game reaction after this game is over, by the way, about the whole thing. We'll be talking about the entire game. But the Steelers have the ball with less than 2 minutes to play, and it's fourth down, and it's not quite fourth down and goal. Well, actually, yes, it is fourth down and goal. So the Steelers have the ball right before the half is about to end. And it's a tied ball game, 3-3, and they're usually any other team, they're just going to kick the field goal, go up 6-3 on the road, and, head into halftime. And Cleveland didn't score any points, so most likely the Steelers would have been going into this halftime up 6-3, and they get the ball to receive the second half. So that's good, regardless of even though the score is 3-3. But it would be 6-3 right now. You have a reliable kicker who has made his past 37 field goal attempts within 40 yards, and you're on the road against a rival. You'd only be winning by 3, so it's not like you're dominating, but you have the momentum factor on your side at the moment. And what do you do? All right, you have 3 options. Kick the field goal. Everyone's going to take that option. You could go for it. Going for the touchdown, keeping your offense on the field, that's going to be more effective than what the Steelers decided to do. They chose option C. And you know what that option was? That option was they were going to run a fake field goal with Chris Boswell, chuck it up to Zach Gentry in triple coverage, and hope that something happens, all right? Steelers fans, you can complain to me all you want about how Boswell got hit. I don't care, all right? It's sad that he's hurt, and I care about the fact he's hurt. But the fact you're going to try to tell me that, Chris Boswell, there should have been a penalty on that hit. You can say whatever you want. But why was that hit even occurring? Why wasn't Boswell just lining up, doing his thing and kicking the field goal so we could most likely go in with a 3-point lead going into half? If not, even let's just say the Browns went down and scored a field goal, tied game going into half still. We have the momentum. We're on the road. We had the momentum. And what did we do? We did a fake field goal, and we gave the Browns back all the momentum, and now we're going into half tied. All right? It's not a bad thing going into half tied. When you could be up by 3, if this game is determined by one possession, and let's just say, the Steelers lose this game, and they're going on a game-winning drive, except they score a touchdown, right? Except they're down by 9. Oh, that field goal certainly would have helped, wouldn't it have, Mike Tomlin, right? And I get it. If the Steelers had a 10-3 lead, let's just say that even they had a 6-3 lead at that point, all right? If they have a lead, then a fake field goal is more understandable because you're not risking the lead. But at the same time, still kick the field goal. You don't have to get too fancy. The Steelers play so conservative all the time, all right? It's 3rd and 13, and you throw a 2-yard pass, right? You're throwing it 10 yards before the line of game. And you're expecting for the receiver to do something miraculous and dodge 7 guys and just maybe get the first down if they do that. They're so conservative. But whenever it's actually time to be conservative and just have a brain, because let me tell you, if I had a child and that child was 5 years old and he didn't even know anything about football, he'd say, "Dad, are we going to kick the field goal?" And I'd say, "Yes, son." But since we're a Steelers fan, I'd be like, "Son, I have no idea what we're going to do. Honestly, we're probably going to punt the freaking football. At this point, just punt the football on 4th down and goal whenever you're like a 25-yard field goal away from going up to halftime with a 3-point lead." All right? This team has had a very mediocre performance so far, but the fact that we have injured Chris Boswell, that hurts so much because this is not 2017 Steelers. Heck, even in 2018 or something like that, even last year, the drives that the Steelers have this year that get into the red zone, more often than usual the past decade, are going to end in field goals. And that's just because we can't give Najee the ball on 3rd down and 20 and expect for him to get the first down, okay? We need a reliable field goal kicker. And that's what we have in Chris Boswell. And what do? We risk him getting injured. And even if the best case scenario is he's banged up, even if he's banged up, that can affect the outcome of this game. Because we might be scared to kick field goals, even if he is okay. And that might result in some pretty stupid play calling by Matt Canada that we just see so often. The play calling was doing actually pretty good this game. There was one other play, 3rd down and 13, and we just do a little check down or something like that. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Because I get that the defense is predicting that you're going to try to throw it by the yard of gain. I get that. So you can do it every once in a while, but this team does it so much. But that's besides the point. They play so conservative. Whenever it's time to play conservative, just kick the field goal and go up and go into halftime up by 3 on the road in First Energy Stadium against your rival. You have the momentum. What do? You injure your kicker. So now your kicking is in jeopardy because they have a decent backup kicker the way it looks, but they're going to be more scared to kick field goals, and odds are they'll miss more field goals than they do usually because Boswell might not be in the game, all right? What if that's a permanent injury to Boswell? I really hope it's not. But what if it is? Would it really be worth it, or just take the 3 points? Even if it's just an injury and where he's just banged up and we're scared to kick the football, which could easily result the outcome of a game because sometimes it easily can. Just kick the field goal. You risk your kicker getting injured, which is exactly what happened, on a play where odds are it's not going to work. You're giving the other team all the momentum whenever it doesn't work, when you could just go up into halftime. When you can go into halftime up by 3 on the road receiving the football. I mean, my goodness, this team is so conservative. Whenever it's actually time to be conservative, we get fancy like we're going to the $30,000 dinner that all these politicians went to in, late September. My goodness, don't get too fancy. Kick the field goal. That's all you got to do. Kick the freaking field goal. Literally, you risk your kicker getting injured. That's exactly what happened. Now, if that is an injury where he's out for weeks, then this team's going to score even less points than they already do, which asks more out of your defense. And let me tell you, this defense has played very well today. The secondary could be better, but this defensive line has been putting pressure on Baker Mayfield. They haven't allowed a whole lot of rushing yards, which is why the Browns aren't running it as much as they have been. And also probably because Chubb's just getting back, they don't want to give him a very heavy workload. But yet again, they do have Johnson, who's definitely proven himself. And yes, Jack Conklin's injured too. It got re-injured too. I hope he's okay. But the Steelers, they have stuck with Cleveland, and they've played a good game. And right now, the way it looks this half is, I'm not saying they are the better team, but this game, they definitely have had the momentum factor on their side for the majority of the game, and they threw that away, injured their kicker, didn't get any points, and now they're tied, all right? If this game is a 1-possession game or barely a 2-possession game, and the Cleveland ends up winning this game, a huge reason why will be this stupid play calling, all right? I have seen the Steelers have called some very stupid calls. That includes, like I said, 4th down and goal. You need about 11 yards, and what do? You throw to Najee Harris behind the line of scrimmage against the Bengals. That was terrible. But my goodness, all right? If it works, awesome. If we got the touchdown, that would have been amazing. Don't get me wrong, I'd be very happy. But I still would not agree with the call because you can injure your kicker getting injured, and that is exactly what happened. And that is why this Pittsburgh Steelers team, they are a team. Right now, decide, do you want to be a good team and make the playoffs? Or are you just going to roll over and die? Because if you go 7-10 and 8-9 because of these stupid decisions, you're going to get mediocre draft capital, which if you get very lucky like the Patriots did last year with Mac Jones, you are not going to get a quarterback that you want. And you're going to be screwed because you're going to be hoping that a quarterback in the second and third round is going to work. And maybe it does, but odds are it's much less likely. So tell me, Pittsburgh, are you going to make the playoffs? Are you going to decide, hey, we're going to win a bunch of games that people are going to count us out in and make the playoffs? Because even though they'd probably lose in the playoffs, that is still a season. It's a momentum factor going into next season that we made the playoffs with the team that we did and the start that we had this season. But the way we are coached right now, especially the play calling, why did Tomlin approve that call? Why did nobody say anything? Take the points. I don't know. Are there monkeys calling our plays? Are there orangutans up there in the booth saying that we should go for it because we're playing Madden with our little brother? What are we doing? It should be a 6-3 ball game right now. End of story. Go Steelers. They can still win this game. I really hope they win this game. But decide for me right now, are you a playoff team or are you going to roll over and die? Because you certainly are not going to go 7-10, 8-9. Here we go.